Manisha, are you still here, or are you done for the night? Inner? You said that earlier, didn't you? What does that mean exactly? Okay. Manisha? The figure that I saw in the shower, I initially thought that it was just a naked figure, maybe a naked woman in the shower. But when we were reviewing the footage again, it almost looks like it's wearing some sort of like dark red clothing. And I'm not exactly sure what a boot is supposed to look like. I know they're just supposed to look human, and to me it definitely does look human. But I don't know if the red dress or red clothing has any sort of significance. So if anyone has some insight on that, maybe somebody from India who grew up with these stories, like, please let me know, because I'm really interested to know. Oh. Look at this. Manisha, if I follow these footsteps, am I gonna find you? Okay. Okay, Manisha. I think it's time that we met face to face, right? Manisha? Oh! Oh my God. Okay. Okay, Manisha, do you know... If you want me to leave, I'll leave. I thought we were friends. That didn't even do anything. Oh, where are you now? Okay. What just happened? I just saw a shadow. Oh, I can't even talk. I saw a shadow walk down the hall. I don't even know what to do. Look. There's still water on the floor. There's water on the floor. That's the fucking blanket that was at the edge of the bed. Her bed is in the bathtub. My mic came off. Objects around the house just felt off to me the entire time. It's like I would like leave a room and I would feel like something was slightly amiss, but I couldn't ever really like figure out what it was in the moment. And looking at the footage, the best example of this is the blanket. It was on the bed before I set up the motion balls, and it was still on the bed when the audio said Nick Ryan after I came down from the motion ball test. So the blanket must have gone missing when I went upstairs to grab the Canon camera so I could set up the test in Manisha's room, because when I was doing the test, it was gone. I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm gonna grab the camera, my other camera, and we're gonna get the test set up, alright? And if you look at the footage, when I go to turn the water off, the blanket is not there. Then I go downstairs, I come back up, and that's when the blanket reappears again in the bathtub. This is something that's always fascinated me about the paranormal, is things just kind of like moving around you, but you don't really like know in the moment when it's happening. And it's just that, you know, because we film everything, we have that luxury to see things happening that we didn't catch in the moment. It's like, have you ever thought you saw a shadow in the corner of your eye and then it's not there, or you swear you put your phone down somewhere and then it ends up somewhere else? That's how I felt this entire night. Just things were just weird and just off the entire night. So before I start the motion light test, I was just reviewing the footage and it actually sounded like a light bulb burst in the basement. And another thing that's been bothering me is this K2 meter. It literally has not, it's just been solid yellow this entire time. I'll show you guys. It's just right in the middle, so I want to go check to see if it's like that everywhere, if that's a hot spot, or what's going on. Okay, no, it's already back to green. So it does seem like it's a little bit hotter in Manisha's room, especially like right in the middle of the bed. Oh, we'll spike in the bathroom too. That's very interesting. Well, closer to the tub. Oh, always kick those motion balls. Yellow again in the tub. So only the two spots that I've checked that have gone to yellow are the tub and her bed. It's really interesting. What about... Let's check once again. Still yellow in here. Yellow again in the bathtub. Super interesting. Still yellow in here. It's like it's the whole house almost. Or are you just everywhere in here? Start flickering a little bit there. This is insane. It's like everywhere. I've never seen it just solid in the middle in an entire building before. Are you still down here, Manisha? You're not the hot. I'm sorry. I kind of walked in on you there. I'm here just to talk. Okay, let's find that light bulb. K2 is just still solid yellow right now. It's in the same hand I'm holding the camera with. Can you touch this REM pod if you're down here? It's not that one. Oh yeah, there it is. The floor's creaking above my head. Oh yeah, there it is. The floor's creaking above my head. That's what it was right there. Wow. She must have been angry. Where's the, oh yeah. There's the shards right there. Once again, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. No matter where it is in this place, this K2 meter is just solid yellow the entire time. It literally has not moved. Oh my god! Alright. I gotta check that out. Oh, there's a REM pod. Manisha! Oh, there's a REM pod. Manisha! At one point earlier in the night, as I was coming up the stairs, I thought I had seen a shadow in the kitchen. I just saw a shadow. Oh, I can't even talk. I saw a shadow walk down the hall. but I wasn't 100% sure. But I did get some confirmation looking back on the footage. You can definitely see a shadow move into the living room. Yeah, it's the one upstairs. Oh my God. You really don't have to make me run around. We can just sit and talk. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off now. And then I'm gonna go downstairs. And we'll see if we can talk that way, okay, Manisha? Thanks. Still, no matter where I put this thing in this house. Tapping. Okay, I'm coming downstairs. Oh, I hate these stairs. Whoa. Okay. What do I do? Okay, that's fine. I'm still coming downstairs. Oh my God. I had initially gone upstairs to check out some REM pod action, and when I went back downstairs, she closed the door on me, and I don't know if she was trying to keep me up there or what was going on, but when I got back downstairs, I looked to my left and I saw that the Canon camera had stopped recording because the SD card was full. So at that point is when I just went into Manisha's bedroom once again to grab a new SD card for the Canon. Now you're playing games with me, aren't you? Okay, Manisha. This is a test that I've been wanting to bring back for a long time, and we haven't done it in almost a year since the Fort Garry Hotel, and that's the motion light test. And the idea of it is basically just set up a motion light, and then I'll ask questions, and then the spirit can light it up if the answer is yes, or they can just leave it alone if the answer is no. And at the Fort Garry Hotel, we did get a really good response, a really intelligent response, and I felt this was the perfect time to bring it back because Manisha had been really responsive all night, and I felt that maybe she did want to actually have a conversation and answer some of my questions. Okay. Manisha? Oh, I think that was just me. Okay, Manisha, this is a motion light that is in your bed right now, and I just want to use it to ask you some questions and you can tell me the answer. So if the answer is yes to my question, all you got to do is just wave your hand in front of it or just move in front of it some way so that I know that the answer is yes to the question, and if the answer is no, you don't have to light it up at all. So can you light it up for me if you're in this room right now? Oh, that might have been me though. I just reached. Okay. I'm gonna leave the room. Oh, I think that was me again. I'm not moving much though, that's weird. Okay. So, Manisha, I know that you miss your son, but you know that you can't stay here forever, right? Your son, Inesh, he needs you to move on, and it seems like you haven't been able to. Is that because you are scared to move on and leave your son behind? That's what I was thinking. Oh. So Inesh told me that he thinks that a big reason you haven't been able to move on is because he didn't take care of you soon enough after you died and had you taken away. Is that true? Can you think you can forgive your son for that? Whoa. All right. Is that a yes? Can you light it up one more time? Okay. So, if you can forgive your son, you think that you can move on for him. Yeah. After the motion light test, I began to feel a lot more comfortable in the house. I think that Manisha may have been defending her home, which is why she seemed to be a lot more aggressive earlier on in the night, but she seemed to be more comfortable with me and I got more comfortable with her. So that's the point where I decided that I'd gotten what I came for and I was gonna spend the night. And even though her energy seemed to die down towards the end of the motion light test, she did make herself known throughout the night, and it sounds like she was checking on me while I was asleep to see if I was still there. This investigation has really opened my eyes to paranormal beliefs and experiences from a culture that differs greatly from the one that I grew up in. And it's raised one burning question in my mind. Are paranormal entities from around the world all the same and are only known by different names? Or do they truly differ? Are these physical manifestations of these spirits directly affected by that particular culture's beliefs and tradition? My experience with an Indian Bhoot did not yield results that would truly make me feel like I was dealing with anything different than what I had encountered in the past. However, I do realize that my one night of experience cannot discredit thousands of years of belief and tradition from the Indian people, which is one of the oldest cultures in human history. So I ask you again, Paranormies Army, what do you think? Since I spent the night in Inesh and Manisha's house, it's been less than a week, but Inesh told me that since I spent the night there, he does feel that his mother's spirit is less responsive than it usually is, and this leads him to believe that his mother is at the very least trying to move on so that they can both move on in his life and in her afterlife. Investigating solo was a really great experience that I very much enjoyed. Although I feel that Johnny and I worked better as a team, I feel like this was a really great test of my investigating skills as well as my filming skills. Are there things that I could have done better? Yeah, absolutely, but thankfully I probably won't have to do this again, at least not for a while, and Johnny will definitely be back for the next episode. We want to know, what are some foreign paranormal beliefs that you find fascinating? Let us know in the comments below and we'll definitely look into them. Until next time, Paranormies Army, we hope you had a very Merry Christmas and we wish all of you the best of luck in the new year. They were offered a second chance at life by a Canadian that's a hard word to say. Philanthropist? A Canadian philanthropist. Oh, that's such a hard word to say. On camera? They're offered a second chance at life by a Canadian good guy.
I've been here before this. I've been through the troubles. It's hard to let you in. I've been giving you the runaround. I double on the dosage. I don't need emotion.